I'm gonna put 500 to savings, then I cannot then change it last minute to 250 because Aritzia has a sale and I want a cashmere sweater. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Keia, and on my channel I want to inspire you as I inspire myself to enjoy nice things without finding your identity in them. So in today's before I get started, if that sounds of any interest to you, please subscribe to my channel, and if you feel like it as well, follow me on Instagram at KeiaJohn to keep up with me throughout the week. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about lifestyle creep and how that has personally attacked me. How I fell victim to that, how I've been tempted by that, and yeah, just kind of go into that, some areas that personally tempt me with lifestyle creep and just ways to avoid it, some tips on how to avoid it, to prevent it, to address it if it's already started to take place. So I found a definition for lifestyle creep actually off of Investopedia, and I'm gonna read it verbatim. So the definition for lifestyle creep according to this article is: lifestyle creep occurs when an individual's standard of living improves as their discretionary income rises and former luxuries become new necessities. The rise in discretionary income can happen either through an increase in income or a decrease in costs. So I've definitely experienced lifestyle creep in both of these areas. First one being an increase in income. So I shared in a past video, in my last video actually, how to get out of debt fast. If you haven't seen it, I will link it in the cards. So I mentioned in my previous video that in order to get out of debt fast, one way was to increase my income. And I did that through acquiring a part-time job. And because I got that part-time job in both instances, that was in my first debt free journey, I got a part-time job, which I called working harder, because it was like constant work. It was like in person and all of these things. Whereas this time around, I'm doing something with a skill that I already have, and I'm able to work it into my own personal schedule. Well, it's at home. It's just working smarter. But in both of these instances, income increases because I now have a second income, with the main goal to pay off debt. But because I was able to pay off debt, or say, oh yeah, like I'm putting this certain amount, the whole pay need to go towards debt. But it's so easy to make up excuses like, oh, I'm just gonna put aside this much to debt, and then I have this little extra to splurge on. Like, I was making luxuries necessities because I had this extra income with the increased income. And in the decrease of costs, lifestyle creep brought me back to debt, because once I paid off my debt the first time around, I no longer had, I decreased my costs because I no longer had debts to pay, right? So that was in turn kind of like an increase in income, or more money that I had toward, like, that I could use for myself. And instead of actually like placing that towards other goals, I was just shopping. So yeah, I've experienced lifestyle creep in both of these instances. So I can definitely agree with this definition. I find that, like, at least for me, it's so easy to fall into lifestyle creep when you start making more money. This habit specifically got me back into debt because I was telling myself that I could afford something because I had the cash. But really, even though I had the cash for it, instead of putting it towards my future, even though I didn't have debt anymore, instead of actually putting that towards like building up my future and putting it towards shopping, that's how debt caught up with me again, because I increased my lifestyle. I made those luxuries, I made those little treats necessities. I convinced myself in my mind that I needed that brand new sweater like at that moment, instead of saying, okay, it's gonna come and go. If I can't get this one, I'll get it another time because I have this goal to reach. So yeah, that definitely caught up with me. I bring up this topic and I thought it was a great video to talk about because as someone who's actively paying off debt again, I find myself, maybe not like in my past journey, I would fall into like the trap. I might not be falling into the trap, but I'm realizing that I'm falling into the thought pattern and I need to nip it in the bud. Like, I don't want the thought pattern to lead me to the trap. So yeah, that's the reason that I'm bringing up this video. And even as a Christian, like I find this is a terrible way to walk in obedience towards stewardship, because I've just been instead of like walking in full obedience and being like, okay, this is not the time. I'm managing this money. I've been blessed to manage this money. I need to tell it exactly where to go. Instead of doing that, I've been saying, oh, well, I'm able to give. So, and I'm able to save. Oh, and I'm able to put this much towards my debt. So I'll meet it by this time. It's the excuses that just lead to the backslide. So it's done now. It's done for, and it needs to be addressed. This mindset like just breeds discontentment, because as I mentioned before, there's always something new and shiny. And if I'm always looking to attain something new, then I'm not actually allowing for contentment to grow in my life for the things that I already have, and just like delaying gratification for things that I can obtain in the future in the right time. Like trying to put the cart before the horse. It's ridiculous. I feel like my mom and my grandma have both said this, just like knowing this like spending personality that I have. It's like, and this is not like their invented saying, but like I'm sure you've heard it before. It's like when money burns a hole in your pocket. I'm tired of my money burning a hole in my pocket. It doesn't need to be spent. And like this is a mindset that I have to unlearn, because having this mindset like also breeds like this paycheck to paycheck mindset. I can afford it, so excuse. And yeah, it's ridiculous now. Yeah, so some areas that I found that lifestyle creep really tempts me, to be honest. I'm a girly girl influenced by girly things, okay? Okay, show me a nice nail polish. Show me a beautiful dress, things like that. These are things that I realize are temptations for me, things that I have made excuses for in the past. And in today's video, I'm just gonna go over 3 ways that you can prevent lifestyle creep and also address it if you're realizing that it's taking place in your life. So the first way is to create a budget and to stick to it. I add on to stick to it because as a type A person, as someone with a project management background, I'm by the book type of person. I have no problem creating a budget, okay? At work, this is fine. Like I can do this, I can create a plan. Okay, I know that this deliverable needs to be met by this day, no problem. But then when it comes to my personal life, like it's very easy to like allow the thought to come in, oh, I can make an excuse for this. I have this budget, but like, oh, just take a little bit away from here and put it here and I can afford it. It's not a debt purchase though. But like I've said before, just because it's not a debt purchase doesn't mean that it's not putting you in debt to your future. You know what I mean? Something that I have had to do to address this is to create a budget, which like I said, no problem in doing, but actually sticking to it, saying, okay, if I'm gonna put 500 to savings, then I cannot then change it last minute to 250 because Aritzia has a sale and I want a cashmere sweater. Huh? It's not the time, and it's just not smart. So I'm definitely not sponsored by this in any way, but I'm gonna leave this app down below because it's really helped me in my own journey. It's the Every Dollar app by Ramsey Solution. So Dave Ramsey, who I've mentioned in another video before, you can look him up on YouTube. Very well known. I'm not gonna go into a whole bio. Pretty much you need to tell every dollar that comes in where to go. Like I have control as a manager of my money. I have control over it and I need to tell every single dollar where to go and not budge on that. So yeah, that's an app that's really been helpful to me, and I'm gonna leave it down below. A second way to prevent or address lifestyle creep is to keep goals at the forefront of your mind. So as you guys know, I'm on a long-term debt-free journey, but then I have a short-term goal that I want to reach by my birthday. And that is to pay off my credit card and my personal loan by my birthday, by my 30th birthday. So that's a goal, and keeping in mind that it's next month. I need to I have had to keep that at the forefront of my mind in order to make some good headway on that goal. And to just even be a little bit more vulnerable, I've always wanted to, like obviously that has been a goal for me to pay it off for my birthday. But even bigger than that, as someone who is not single but unmarried, I have plans to merge my finances in the future in a future marriage. And I want to go in with a clean slate off of all my personal debts that were made in foolish decisions. So when the time comes, I'm not bringing that into the marriage. Keeping my goals at the forefront of my mind has not been an easy feat. And in a later video, I'm going to show just how God has graced me, because to be honest, I'm not deserving. but doing so has really helped me to make some headway in reaching them, and I'm very grateful for that. So that is a way that has helped me to deny the temptation of lifestyle creep. And a third way to address and prevent lifestyle creep is to pick one treat instead of indulging in all. So there's no magic wand that you can wave to magically start controlling your finances. It really does take sacrifice. And in the past, as I've mentioned, when I looked at my finances before, as the scripture says, where your treasure is, there your heart is also. My heart was in my closet. So as for me and clothes, I'm on a low buy. And a low buy is not purchasing anything clothing wise unless absolutely necessary. And to be honest, if you saw my declutter video, if you didn't, it's in the cards. But if you saw my declutter video, you know I'm not lacking in that department. So I'm not purchasing clothes right now. I always would convince myself that I could, because I met, like, my bills are paid, and I was able to put this much towards this, I was able to give and be generous, I can afford this, and make an excuse for it. But to be honest, it was just really being wasteful and feeding discontentment. So some areas that I have So an area that I've chosen to treat myself in instead of indulging it at all is in hair and nails. That's just like something that I like to keep up. It's just nice. And doing so within a budget, like setting a budget and actually sticking to it. And like I said, not in all, AKA I'm not actively out here shopping for clothes anymore because it's not necessary right now. So yeah, that is the third way that I have been addressing and preventing lifestyle creep in my life. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. If I missed any, I just talked about my personal experience, but if you have any specific areas of lifestyle creep that have affected you personally, leave them down below in the comments. And yeah, if you haven't already, if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel and also follow me at Keia John on Instagram. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next upload. Bye.